and welcome to Salt and Light Canning. I'm Jessica, and today, as promised, we are making Christmas jam. I am so excited. This is my favorite thing to can of all the year. I look forward to doing this jam specifically. I love Christmas, so Christmas jam is my favorite. I have to tell you, this is completely inspired by Heather over at the Needy Homesteader. Her channel is phenomenal. She's an amazing woman, so love her channel, and I love Christmas jam. So here we go. So excited. To start off, we're going to use one big bag of strawberries. Now in Heather's video, she used cherries, but I have a friend who's allergic to cherries, so we're going to use strawberries. Now to the strawberries, I'm going to add 8 cups of cranberries. I'm going to turn on my heat. Now again, because we're making jam, I have a very big pot and I have a long spoon so that I don't burn myself, okay? To our strawberries and our cranberries, we are going to add 2 cups of orange juice, and half a cup of lemon juice. And we're going to let this come up to heat and let our cranberries start to break. And if anybody noticed or anybody was wondering, you can use frozen fruit to make jam. I do it all the time. It's much easier for me in wintertime to get frozen strawberries than it is to get fresh strawberries. And that big bag I just bought at Costco. So wherever you get strawberries, that's where I got strawberries. And the cranberries we bought last month, and I washed them and sorted them and put them in freezer bags in 8-cup increments because I knew I was going to be coming back to do Christmas jam. Now this is going to take a bit because my fruit was like half frozen. I took it out this morning, but you know, stuff happens. It is what it is. So our cranberries have started to pop and all of our fruit is getting heated through. I'm just kind of mashing things with this potato masher to kind of break it up a little bit. We like, you know, chunky fruit in our jam, but if you don't, you can always use your immersion blender or blend this in your standard blender and break up your fruit. Or you don't have to break it up at all. If you want just, you know, whole huge strawberries in your jam, then do that. Do what you like, what makes you happy. But whatever you do, remember, canning should not cause you stress. It should just make you happy, especially Christmas jam. I mean, my goodness, Christmas is my very favorite time of year, and I just love canning Christmas jam. It brings me so much joy, and it makes your house smell like Christmas with the oranges and the cranberries, and in a minute we're gonna add some spices, and it's just wonderful. But I'm gonna get this fruit broken up before it actually starts to boil, because again, I don't want to burn myself. Not about it. So I'm just gonna mash this until I like the consistency. And again, you do what you like. Alright, everything is boiling and bubbling, and I've gotten the fruit kind of mashed up. So now I'm going to add some pectin, because this is a double batch. I'm adding 12 tablespoons of pectin. So here we go. Just kind of sprinkle it over and mix it in. Hope for the best. It's gonna be great. And we're gonna stir this up, and we're gonna let it boil for at least a minute with the pectin. Probably 2. And I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit so we're not splashing out all over the place. Smash some of the fruit with my spoon. Think about Happy Christmas things. Okay, now I'm going to add my spices. I have 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of cloves, half a teaspoon of nutmeg, which is stuck. There we go. And 1.5 tablespoons of dried orange peel. Get that good and mixed up. This smells so good. It's all spices and cranberry. So wonderful. We can see it's already starting to gel and to thicken in our pot, which is wonderful and exactly what we want. Everything has been bubbling away for a couple of minutes, so now we're going to add 12 cups of sugar, all at once. Here we go. Woo! Okay, we'll get this all stirred in. and we'll bring it back to a boil that we can't stir down. And be really, really careful. Once that sugar gets hot, it can like splatter out and get on you. And that is really no fun, it hurts. Okay, as this comes up to a boil, I'm gonna add about about 1 tablespoon of butter. And that just helps to cut down on the foam. You could skim your jam if that's what you want to do. I just add a little butter. You do you. If you don't like cinnamon, don't put in cinnamon. If you don't like orange rind in your jam, then don't put it in. It's all up to you. But the only thing that really needs to be consistent is your ratios of fruit to sugar and pectin and acid. So, spices are completely up to you. And whether or not you want to use a little bit of butter to help to control foam, you do what you like. Just keep stirring. So you will have noticed that I make a lot of jams. I make a lot of things to share with other people. I've said probably on every video that I've done so far, I don't bake because I don't enjoy it. If you enjoy baking, I am so happy for you. My sister, she loves to bake, and she has a whole day in December dedicated to cookies and making cookies with the kids. But that is what she loves to do, and I'm so blessed that God put us together, because otherwise nobody would get anything baked. You know, He puts us with people to help us with our, like, where we're weak, they're strong. And I mean, I could bake, but I don't like to. But she's a blessing to me. And she is allergic to cherries. So when I saw the Needy Homesteaders video and how she was adapting it because she's allergic to strawberries, I was like, you know what? I could do it with strawberries, and then my sister could eat this jam and just really enjoy it, and it would be a blessing to her. And that is what is so wonderful about canning and the YouTube canning community, is you can get lots of fabulous inspiration from other people that you never would have thought of before, and it'll be great. I love Christmas. It makes me so happy, you know. Think about how much God loves us, that He gave to us, and how we can be a blessing to other people and give to them. You never know. You giving your neighbor a jar of jam to be a blessing to them, that might be the turning point in their life. You don't know. Just to know that somebody cares about them. And whenever I am in my kitchen, I always think about, what could I set aside for somebody that maybe doesn't have something? We have several elderly people in our church. And you know, with all the lockdowns and all those things, they don't get out as much as they used to. And they need somebody to be a blessing to them. Or maybe you have a young mom that you know down the street, Maybe she needs somebody to care and take her something. I don't think any of us have ever been, you know, we've all been in a situation where we needed somebody to care and to show love. So maybe as you're going through your day, or if you're in your kitchen, think about how you can be a blessing to somebody else. That helps our life to have meaning. All right, so we are at a boil that I can't stir down, and we're gonna let it boil right here like this for at least 1 minute, and I'll probably go 2. I've just found when I double a jam recipe that the best way to ensure my set is if I let it boil for at least 2 minutes. If you're not comfortable doubling your jam recipe, then don't. You do what makes you happy and where you're comfortable. This is going to be such a pretty jam. I'm so excited. And it smells just wonderful. About the only rules for Christmas jam, if you're making Christmas jam at home, the only rules are that you have to be in a Christmas frame of mind. So if you have to set up your tree, or get out your little nativity decorations, or watch Christmas shows, you do what puts you in a Christmas frame of mind. Maybe you need to go caroling with some friends and then come home and make Christmas jam. Maybe you need to wear silly Christmas earrings. What puts you in a Christmas frame of mind? You'll have to let me know in the comments what makes you feel Christmassy. Or if you have special traditions for your family, what do you do? And we're starting to splatter. That's why we have a tall pot and a long spoon. Okay, we've bubbled for about 2 minutes now. So I'm going to turn off the heat, but I'm going to keep stirring because I have a glass stove top and it retains the heat. And I want to make sure that nothing burns or scorches to the bottom of my pot, because burnt jam does not taste good. And then you have to throw the whole thing out and start over again, and it's very disappointing. So don't neglect your jam when it's this hot. That's so pretty with these cranberries. Oh, it's gonna be just fabulous. It smells just like Christmas in my house. What makes you think of the smell of Christmas? You should let me know what that is in the comments too. What's your favorite Christmas smell? This does. It just makes me so happy. And I just love giving away homemade gifts. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I love giving away jams or pickles or things that I've canned, because I do. I just love canning. It's my favorite thing. What gifts do you enjoy giving? And ornaments. I love giving away ornaments. You know, because they make you think of what you've done with that person through the year. It's just wonderful, just wonderful. All right. I'm gonna get this set up over by the dishwasher so we can start filling our jars, and I'll see you in just 1 minute. All right, so I have my jars in the dishwasher. They are all nice and clean. My ladle and my funnel is all nice and clean. My debubbler just came out of the dishwasher. It's all nice and clean. So whenever you're canning, make sure that you wash things really, really well. Everything that touches the food needs to be clean. Everything. We don't have to soak our lids and rings anymore. The instructions on the box say that we don't have to, as long as we're canning for more than 10 minutes. And we're going to be canning all of these jam jars for 15 minutes. So here we go. We're going to fill to between 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch of headspace. I like to stir it up a little bit and make sure I get some of everything in my scoop. Oh, this is such a pretty jam. And if you're worried about making a mess, don't worry, you're gonna make a mess. And that's okay. Just means you gotta clean it up later. So take our debubbling tool, and I just kind of poke around because we do have chunky fruit in there, and I want to make sure that there's no air bubbles. I'll take my next jar and set my funnel and my debubbler in the next jar. And now I'm going to take a piece of paper towel and some white vinegar, and I'm going to wipe off the rim of my jar, make sure it gets really clean, and take a lid and I line it up and put the ring on to fingertip tight. That means just my fingers tighten the lid on the jar, and I didn't engage my wrist. So I have all of my jelly jars in my canner, double stacked. It's covered by about 1 inch of water, and I turned the stove on. It's almost to a simmer. I also have about 1 tablespoon of vinegar in my water to keep the jars from getting cloudy. I'm going to cover this, let it come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to process them for 15 minutes, and I'll bring you back when I'm taking them out of the canner. So our jam has processed for 15 minutes, and that means that it was boiling the whole time for 15 minutes with the lid on, and I've turned off the stove, turned off the timer, I took the lid off. It's been a couple minutes now, and I'm going to take them out. And don't tip your jars. It's really hard, but don't tip your jars. If you tip your jars, you can get food up under the lid, and then you won't seal. So even though it's a huge temptation, don't do it. These are going to sit right here on this mat until tomorrow. And then we will take the rings off and wash them up, and everything will get labeled. This just looks so pretty in the jar. And Christmas jam is my favorite. I'm so excited. Oh, and we're already pinging. Our lids are already sealing, so that's exciting. That's a good thing. Have to take out the second rack because I said I double stacked. Whenever you grab your jar, make sure you get your jar lifter. Make sure it gets all the way, like not on the ring, but on the glass. Because as the jars are processing, they can loosen the rings. And if you just grab it by the ring, you can end up dropping your jar and breaking, making a mess. And nobody wants that. Sometimes it's hard to decide which one to take out because I don't want to tip them. And I don't want to... Let's see. Let me move this one over here. And again, I just like them lined up. That's just me. You don't have to do that. All of this beautiful jam is going to sit right here on my counter overnight. We're not going to cover it with anything. We're not going to touch them after I get them on the mat. Everybody is just going to sit and relax and calm down and seal and be Christmas jam. There we go. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to like and subscribe and share, and let me know if you make Christmas jam. Also, please check out Heather at the Needy Homesteader. Like I said, this video is completely inspired by her. Also, let me know in the comments, what are your favorite Christmas traditions? What does your family enjoy doing? Be so blessed and be a blessing to somebody else.